In this video, I will show you how I used AI to turn my office space from this to this in just 3 minutes with no experience in interior design whatsoever. And by the way, the tool that I'll be using in this video is called myrodesigner.ai, and you can find a link to that in the description. But now let's get started. So once you have signed up, you will see this AI interior design page. Then the first thing you need to do is drag and drop an image here. And for instance, I will use this simple image from my previous office space. So I want to redesign this space, so I will drag and drop this image into this view. Then once you have uploaded your image, it is time to choose the rendering style. So you can either do inspiration or restyling. And for example, in my case, I want to do the restyling option because I want to transform this space into something that looks much nicer. So I will choose this restyling option, and then you also need to choose the room type. So for instance, I will do home office, and then we can choose this designing style. For example, we could do modern, and then you can also choose the color. So let's do something like neutral, so white, off-white, navy blue. Then you should describe the changes you want to make to this space. And remember that this is an AI tool, so you can literally describe the changes as if you were talking to a human. And then just click generate. And there we have it. You can see that it is a very similar photo to this original one. So you have these windows over here on the right hand side, and then you have the tile wall here on the left hand side. But as you can see, it has changed the outlook quite drastically. So the windows are still in place and the tile wall is still in place, but as you can see, the floor has changed. All these sofas, chairs, lamps and whatnot, these have all changed. And I think that this is amazing that you can do something like this with an AI. And here we have even more images. So this one actually looks a lot closer when it comes to the windows. So the windows are small here and they are small here as well. So this is probably something we could get very close to if we wanted to implement this design. One thing you need to pay attention to when you do these AI interior designs is that all these things might not be 100% realistic. So for example, if you look at this lamp here, its legs are pretty much telling me that this would fall over instantly here. So I think that this is still pretty close. I think the most important thing here is that this gives you this kind of a big picture, this overall vibe of what your office space could be. And by the way, if you want to create similar designs, if you for instance want to fix some of these artifacts, or if there's something that you like but some things that you don't really like, you can click on this create similar design, and then you can just click generate. So it will take the AI generated design and it will re-render that in a similar fashion for you to see even more images like the one that you saw earlier. And there we go. So here we have 3 similar designs. And for instance, I like this one a lot. I think that the only problem with this one is that this is way too big. So I think this room was like 5 meters or like 15 feet in length. And this one makes it appear a bit larger. So I wouldn't think that we can fit this many desks and chairs in one row. And then once you have created a design, for example, if you like this one a lot, you can click on this upscale option and it will render a bigger version of this image. So for instance, if I now open this up, it would look a bit blurry. So that is because the resolution is not optimized yet. So if you click on this upscale option, it will render you a much higher definition image. And there we have it. So as you could see now, the upscaled version took over the original version, and now everything is much sharper here. And you can also click find similar products. So if you have some products, for instance, lamps or chairs or desks, anything you see in this image that you would like to purchase to your office space, for instance, you can click on this find similar products, and this will find you products related to this image that you can buy. But yeah, we're not going to use that right now. So let's click on add to designer. It will add your image into a mood board. So here you can add all these objects, you can add products here, you can add a bunch of images. This is something that you're probably familiar with if you have done designs in the past. And please keep in mind that I'm not saying that these interior designing AI tools will replace real interior designers. As I said, there are lots of artifacts, lots of things that these AI designers can't still take into account. But if you just want some inspiration, if you just want some direction as to what your room could look like, or for instance, if you want to showcase these to a real designer, then that can be very helpful. So definitely not replacing real designers, but this is something you should definitely experiment with